Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Stallsy's Adventures. So this evening we're going to try and make a spare wheel holder for the spare tyre. So ever since I've had the canopy, we've just had it mounted to the fridge slide, the back of it, but it's worked alright so far. I just wanted to have it mounted up against the rear wall of the canopy, so it should give me a bit more space. And make this bit a bit wider so we can actually use it. Thankfully cleaned the car yesterday, so everything's nice and clean back here. But really, all we're going to be doing is flipping that like that and making a mount to hold it there. My idea is 2 bars either side, one that comes up the back, and then we should be able to screw through the holes in the tyre, and then so we'll get started and we'll see how it comes along. Alright, so now we're just going to mark up all these bits. I'm going to cut them all on a diagonal just so it's a bit stronger when we weld it. So for that, what I'm going to do is cut this side first. And then after this side, we will be able to have this be able to work out how far the measurement needs to go to the other end. So we'll keep marking up these and then we'll get into it. I've sorted myself out. I've gone and got some good tools. King Chrome, sponsor me please, thank you. So now that we've got all of this prepped and stuff, all beveled off all the edges and stuff, we've got a little clamp in here which will hold these square like that. If I can line it up. It's a bit easy when it's on the table. But yeah, so we'll pack it all up and then we'll get it built. So what we're doing now is just going to give this all a clean up till it's pretty much smooth. Then we'll get onto the back bit that comes up from there. So now I've got this all cleaned up. We've got it all ground down so that it's all nice. Not the inside, but that doesn't matter too much. And then same on that end, it all ground down. So what we'll move on to next, we're going to use a flat bit of plate, but it'll be something like this. Comes off the back there up to the height. And then at the same time as that, we will also have some come on diagonal just to give it a bit more strength. So we'll get into cutting up those bits and then weld them on. So I just welded on that bit that's going to actually hold up the spare tyre. So if I can pick it up, yep, there we go. So I've got that welded on now. Now I just got to figure out how to do these cross bits. I don't really know how to measure it, so I'm thinking the best way for me to do it is just going to be laying it down on the ground like this, and then I'll grab my other bit of metal, lay it down in a cross, use my shadow like that, and then we'll mark it, cut it, and then weld that on as well. So this is already pretty strong, but with this and then the one on the other side as well, it should be really strong and we shouldn't have any issues with it, which is what I'm hoping for. So we'll get these welded on and then we'll do the other side. back out at the car now. We've got this all made up. I've decided to just keep it at one triangle bit for now. Obviously I was going to do two at the start, but I think it's actually pretty strong like that. So what we'll do next is we'll move the tyre out the way for a second. Just grab it down. And we'll get an idea of how this sits on the car. So this is just going to sit just here, and will be bolted down to the tray obviously. We'll need to work out what measurement it is in terms of left and right, and then with the tyre it'll just come up here. And then we'll sit back inside here. Obviously still got to work out that bit that's going to come out to where the meets the bits where the tyre screws in, but haven't quite got that far yet as to how we're going to do that. So yeah, so obviously we've got the main part of it made now. It's just about figuring out how we're going to attach the tyre. So what I've come up with is we've got these little brackets, and if we weld that on about there, this should come out nearly far enough to the tyre. Put a few bolts through the wheel studs in the wheel, and then put a couple bolts bolted on from the outside, and we should be all sweet. So we'll get to welding this one on and see how it goes. So I probably should have got rid of the paint on that before I started welding it, as it did catch fire a couple times, but that's okay. She's on there now, so we'll give it a bit of a test fit. So we've now got this to a point where it would work, but I want to put some caps on these and then clean up all these welds as well. But the idea is obviously the tyre sits in there, held in by these two side pieces, and then you put two bolts through these bits, and then that goes through the wheel, and you'll have this bolted to the tray as well. So I'm going to paint this, clean up all these welds, put some caps on these, and then we'll be able to give it a test out. But that'll be all for tonight, and yeah, we'll see you on another day. Alright, welcome back. It's another day. I've done a little bit more on this since, so I've put some caps on the ends of these, just so it's all nice and enclosed, and grinded it all down till it's nice and flat. So done that on all the sides. So next thing will be drilling out these holes so that they fit the spare tyre in, like the bolt that goes through. We'll give it a paint and then bolt it down to the tray, so we'll get into it. So I'm just taking the wheel off the car at the moment, and then we're going to make sure that it actually fits into this holder that we've made. Otherwise we might have to sell this to someone with less offset on their tyres, but the bolts seem to have a bit of movement, so they should be okay. Alright, and that's how it's going to sit. So we'll even be able to cut a bit off these if we want to. See what it's like when we tighten these up. And that's how it's going to sit on the car, so give you guys a bit better of a look. Now it's time that we put some paint onto this one and then whack him up on the car and bolt it on. Alrighty, so we've got it all painted up now, and we've also drilled out a hole here, which is how we're going to mount it to the tray. So we'll sit that there for a second and then go grab the tyre just to make sure that we know exactly where we want to put it. Ooh, hopefully this is the last time we have to put this up and down. So that sits in there. And then does the mount line up there? Nearly. Make sure that the sides close. And that lines up, which it does there. Alright, we'll screw that in there. Sweep up this little mess here that we've made, then we can pick it up after we've put the bolt in. Attach this guy. Alright, that's all in. So, put this bolt on. And we're also going to put one of these split pin type things into here underneath through the bolt so that it can't come out at all. And that's in there. So now all that's left is to grab the bolts that go into the tyre . And I've got these little things as well, which should space it out a little bit as well, which I think is what it needs. Bolts through. Start putting these on. Same on the other side. And we should be able to grab our tyre, whack it up and put it into those bolts, which will then be how it stays on the car. So that, guys, that's all done now. Tyre's solid on there. I still need to tighten this up so it's not solid yet, but it will be. And that is how you make a spare tyre holder for next to nothing. Literally the only thing we bought was 2 bolts, 4 of these, and some spray paint. So just by using stuff that's been laying around or scrap for something else, we've been able to save ourselves 300 bucks or so. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.